Pace car pulls off out of turn 4. We are ready to go green with the first and only brand new track on the Cup Series schedule this season. Here is Martin Truex Jr. Joey Logano will lead the field to the green flag here from Worldwide Technology Raceway here from a gateway in St. Louis as they head down into turns 1 and 2. You're already going to see Ryan Blaney trying to catch the top 2 off guard right there. Immediately up the inside, 3 wide there as Logano's going to get the short end of that stick here as they exit turn 2. And Jay, we already see 3 wide up here in the top 5. It looks like they're actually going to do it in the background as well here. There's certainly a lot of racing room there to kind of make that happen there as they went down into turn 1. Blaney kind of catching everybody off guard.
And Logano still 3 wide right there with Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott to his inside, and he can't find a way to get off that bottom of 3 wide. He's going to get separated from Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott, and now he's got Hamlin and Byron to his inside. So, I mean, you can see he just gets no launch off the corner. That time gets clear of 3 wide just because he was so slow. And for Joey Logano, he lost a ton of positions in just 1 lap. Now on lap 2, Kyle Busch gets shuffled up to the outside. Now he's going to wind up losing momentum and losing speed, being up on the high side. And Gary, it seems like it might be okay in 1 and 2, but in 3 and 4 here, Kyle Busch, if he's still 3 wide, is going to lose a ton of time off that tight exit of the corner.
Fortunately for Kyle Busch, though, settles back down to 2x2, and there you see already in the midfield there's some 3 wide action as well. I think that's Daniel Suarez on the outside, Austin Dillon in the middle, Suarez's teammate of Chastain as well, and we look a little bit further back, Jay, a couple drivers we are not expecting to see this far back down the order. We got both Kevin Harvick and Kyle Larson outside of the top 20 to start this race. These 2 drivers definitely have a lot of work ahead if they want to, of course, get a competitive result out of this day.
And Kevin Harvick, your brand new points leader coming into this race ahead of Reddick by 10 points, grabbed the points lead after last weekend, and right now, and so far early in Gateway, he's not having a good time at all. Like you mentioned, Kyle Larson as well. And Larson, I feel like this is not the first time we've talked about him kind of struggling in this season, but we've never seen him struggle this bad to where he is way down in the order of the field right now, fighting with Bubba Wallace, Eric Almirola, last season's champion, back here as well. Daniel Suarez, who's in the Comscope car, now finally just ahead of them. And Kurt Busch is back here as well, Gary. We keep talking about Kurt Busch week in and week out. He's had just a terrible season so far, him and his teammate both.
Minimum, Tyler Reddick was the guy to beat. He couldn't win. Tyler Reddick still hasn't won, was leading the points, dominating. Caution's actually out on the circuit here now, and it looks like, Burton gets a piece of it, but it's Keselowski and the 41 of Cole Custer as the caution flies. Looks like a 2-car, now 3-car incident as the caution will be out. Here's a look at our first incident on the day. Keselowski's actually going to just run out of patience, completely dump Cole Custer, but unfortunately take himself out of the running as well. A big hit there, and you're going to see the 21 of Harrison Burton pile in as well. Some major damage to that number 21 and the 6 as well as the 41. After the pit stops, Denny Hamlin now out in front. Martin Truex Jr. lost some ground, and obviously Ryan Blaney lost a position as well, as we're going to be back underway here and now for another 30 laps still to go in this stage. Now with the pit stops and the yellow flag timing, it does make it a little bit close on feel here to make it to the end of this first stage, so these drivers will need one more caution to be in a safe position. There you see Keselowski, of course, at the back of the grid, and we got trouble down the back straightaway. Briscoe's gonna go around down the back straightaway all by himself, and the caution's gonna fly again on the restart. And Jay, another driver on the bubble right now, having issues today, already shaping up to be maybe an issue for some bubble drivers here, and maybe some drivers on that outside looking in. Here's a look now at the second caution of the day. Joey Logano runs into the back of Briscoe, turns him into the side of Daniel Suarez, and turns them all around, and no one else involved there. Fortunately, a single car incident, and Briscoe will be able to continue. Ready to go green once again. Ryan Blaney this time wins the race out of the pit lane, so he retakes the lead. Hamlin lost a few spots. Is he going to win the race out of the pit lane? He's going to get around that number 18, and yes, he is. So Bowman wins the race out of here, and I would assume, actually, easily wins the race. Quite a significant gap there, but let's pay attention to guys like this. Almirola, Chastain, they pitted separately from everybody. This could actually give them a chance now to both get stage points here, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen, Jay. I mean, look at the gains right there. That's going to put them up towards the top 5. This pit lane going to be an interesting one here today now, as it is a very narrow and tight pit lane, so not a lot of room for these drivers to work with there, and if we continue to have cautions, of course, you're going to see that be a common theme throughout the day, of course, with the pit lane maybe being a big deciding factor in this race, Jay. I mean, with that pit lane being so narrow, and actually, Kyle Busch again goes around out of turn 2. We are having one heck of a start to this race. Kyle Busch already has a win on this season, so it doesn't really matter for him, but another one, I mean, a lot of rough luck for some drivers right off the start. 3 cautions to open this race here in Gateway. We expect to see them pit again. Here's a look at what happened out of turn 2. Ty Dillon's the instigator this time. Gets into the left rear. Kyle Busch turns him around nearly into Eric Almirola, who just barely avoids it. A simple spin and continue from Kyle Busch. Back underway again after the pit stops. This time, Alex Bowman out in front here as they head down into turn 1. And look at AJ Allmendinger doing the double this weekend up here in the mix now. As Jay, the common thing that we apparently have to watch out for that at this point is a wreck here potentially on the exit of turn 2.
Not too much side-by-side happening currently, so I think we might be okay this time around. This is the first time since the very beginning of the race we haven't had a caution happen pretty much right after the restart or start of this race. But
the pit cycle, because of the cautions, I mean, this is going to open the door today for some names like this to maybe be able to capitalize on it, and we're seeing that right now is Larson. Larson in the background. Larson, what's going on there? In the number 5, I see some damage on his car, and it looks like he's not going to cause any accidents, but look at that. You can see, that nearly went wrong, and everything's going wrong for Kyle Larson. He's going to have to do another lap around the track. Here's what happened to Kyle Larson. It was actually in the pit lane under the last caution. Him and Harvick come together. He gets damaged. He never came back to fix it. That's why we saw him diving to the pit lane under green flag conditions. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. Alex Bowman's won 2 stages this season. Hold on, Hamlin's right on him. Not going to be enough there. Bowman shuts the door. Bowman's going to come through to win stage 1. His 3rd stage win. That's going to be his 3rd playoff point, of course, from a stage win. And, of course, with 1 race win, he is racking up those playoff points now. One of the better runs Eric Almirola has had this season, which is a bit surprising to say because Almirola right now is in the playoffs, quite comfortably in the playoffs right now, actually. But he has really not had a very memorable season, to say the least here. Now, as you can see, the rest of the traffic, Daniel Suarez now trying to work up the inside of that number 45 of Kurt Busch and gain a position there as they exit turn 4. They're going to continue side by side. Noah Gragson, Austin Dillon just in behind. Hey, Harvick's in the pit lane, but Truex moved into 2nd place while we were away, and Denny Hamlin has really fallen down the order now into 6th place. So long run car, maybe not there, but Jay, what we're seeing is typical Martin Truex Jr. fashion in our series so far this season is the long run. That 19 car starts to kick in, and that 19 is putting the pressure all over the back of that Ally number 48 car.
But not a lot of time until all these guys need to come to the pit lane before we end stage number 2 here. So I think for Martin Truex at this point, he just needs to kind of think about getting to that pit lane currently, and not about trying to race with Alex Bowman, because he could put himself in a position where he's not able to get to the pit lane, or perhaps maybe even they wind up wrecking if they race a little bit too hard right here. So you want to get onto the pit lane maybe this time by for Alex Bowman. You see a lot of cars coming down the pit lane right here. There's a bunch of them. Not most of our top 10 runners, though. Everybody who's in the pit lane right now is pretty much most of them in the top 15 or behind. So that might be able to see a few jump a couple of cars here, but our leaders all coming in this time by.
Is he going to win the race out of the pit lane? He's going to get around that number 18, and yes, he is. So Bowman wins the race out of here, and I would assume, actually, easily wins the race. Quite a significant gap there, but let's pay attention to guys like this. Almirola, Chastain, they pitted separately from everybody. This could actually give them a chance now to both get stage points here, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen, Jay. I mean, look at the gains right there. That's going to put them up towards the top 5. But anyways, the stage winner is going to be that number 48 of Alex Bowman here in Gateway. Truex 2nd. And this could be huge for them. So 4 drivers pit. Suarez, Austin Dillon, just fuel only is all they take with Kurt Busch and Buescher as well. Back from Gateway, Alex Bowman ready to lead the field back to the green. He's won both stages so far, and he's got a bit of an advantage here temporarily, as Brad Keselowski is going to start directly in front of 2nd place on back. And you see the difference already, Jay. They're going to have to split them both ways. This is going to get a little bit sketchy here into turn 1.
We've seen the restarts be the cause of the chaos so far in Gateway. We've gotten away with the last 2, but this time might not be able to get away with it with Brad Keselowski causing issues right away. And everybody, never mind, we get down the back straightaway, and everybody's still clean. And Brad Keselowski, though, is still right in the middle of our leaders. You see him slowing up Tyler Reddick. Chase Elliott there is trying to fight to the inside. He does get to the inside. Denny Hamlin right behind him. I mean, Brad Keselowski is all kind of in the way right now, Gary, not moving at all, and has caused a whole stack up there with Tyler Reddick and AJ Allmendinger, who looked to make it 3 wide for just a moment. This, I think, is a little bit too early, Gary.
This is certainly a little bit early, I think, here. And we might have some drivers that are going to have some issues making it to the end of this race. It's going to be close, that's for sure. No, speaking of close, got a little bit closer right there. Logano's in. Suarez, wow, Jay, here's not what we expect to see.
Wow, yeah.
Suarez, I mean, look at him. He's got nobody to worry about right now. But, I mean, it's all about where is he going to exit. And Austin Dillon as well is going to pit. And you can see right here, Truex is going to be the first one of these four. But the front, Almirola is going to come in. But let's pay attention to that 99 of Suarez. I mean, right now, Jay, this is not terrible for him because he was not held up whatsoever. He had a clear space ahead, but it's all about the exit.
But what's extremely unfortunate for him is the fact that he pitted a little bit later than our leaders and had the opportunity to go to as far as he can make it to the end of this race. And he didn't do that. He still is going to have to pit, I believe, one more time before the end of this race. I think everybody is going to have to pit one more time before the end of this race. But for Daniel Suarez, like you said, at least with the pit stops happening right now, he should get an advantage out of this, and it looks like he might. But we try and find our leaders once again. There they go into the pit lane now. I don't think we're having as big of a group pit altogether. I think there have been smaller groups over several couple of.
Oh my God!
44
Bowman!
Our leaders, Alex Bowman involved in it. And now they're dead stopped. What's
have
gonna
you
happen?
have you ever, Tyler Reddick is gonna come in and oh my goodness, this has changed everything. Alex Bowman, who's dominated this race, Greg Biffle goes head on into the barrels. Rex is directly in front of traffic, you saw it there, and Bowman piles in. There's damage on his car, there's damage on the second place car of Byron and Jay. This might have just opened the door wide open for Ryan Blaney or Martin Truex Jr. to maybe steal the win away here today with 30 laps to go. Unbelievable.
Like Martin Truex Jr., there he goes right there. He's going to be easily in the lead of this race. And that might put Chastain in second out of all people. And now Almirola in third. Gary, what has happened here in Gateway? Chaos. NR2003, chaos once again.
Absolutely here. Less than 10 laps remain from Gateway. Martin Truex Jr. leads the way, capitalizing by just pitting away from Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman dominated stage one. One stage two. We saw Greg Biffle hit the water barrels, and unfortunately Bowman, Byron as well in the path, nowhere to go. They pile into the side of the 44, and we saw other drivers, of course, held up in that scenario.
Two laps to go here in Gateway, and Ross Chastain is struggling to get around that 34. If he had any chance to go at Martin Truex Jr., it has now been completely wiped away by the driver of the 34, Michael McDowell, and Martin Truex Jr. is just walking out this time by. It might even be close to a 1 second lead on that number one of Ross Chastain. So still a really good day if he does finish in second, though, Gary, because he absolutely needed that for the points, but I'm sure he was wanting to try and at least challenge Truex for a win, but not going to happen. 1 lap to go. White flag is out.
White flag in the air for Martin Truex Jr. Quick look, nobody coming to the pit lane again, so somehow they're going to prove us wrong. They're going to make it to the end of this race here. Out of turn 2 for the final time. Martin Truex Jr., your Bristol Dirt and Dover winner, is going to lead the way down the back straightaway here. He won the All-Star race recently at Texas Motor Speedway and continues on this hot streak here in this Bass Pro Shops number 19 Toyota Camry. And what could be his final season of Cup Series competition, we're not for sure yet, but Truex is going to exit turn 4 to get win number 3 here at Gateway on the season. Ross Chastain with a superb second place finish. Elliott and Busch will cross the line, and Denny Hamlin is going to round out the top 5 as, of course, the rest of the field comes through to finish there. What a effort there from Truex J. I mean, in other races we've seen him just win on pure long run pace. He had long run pace again today, but this time he just put himself in a fortunate position with pitting at the right time, while the leaders have unfortunately pitted at the worst time possible, and he was able to benefit. What a drive from that 19. Even without the win, we saw him. He had top 5 pace all day.